Joining us on the line are members from the band Sevvven. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks for having us, John. We really appreciate that.
Man, it's been a heck of a day over here, and we've been rocking out all these interviews, and more great bands are coming in. So tell us about you guys, another great band, Sevvven. Let us know what goes on with the band there. What are you guys about?
Oh yeah,
Do it,
Josh, go ahead.
Okay, shit. Okay.
Make the tough question on Josh. Let's go.
No, it's all fine. Ann and I are the co-founders, and we met up on a social media website actually for recording music together. Like, it's called Band Lab, and we just met up there in like 2019 and recorded something. He liked it. Then we found he introduced Joey, who was a drummer of a previous band with Ant, and the three of us got together and worked on our first album last year and did that all by ourselves, self-produced and everything. And then we got signed to Curtain Call Records and working on our latest album that we have about 3 singles out, which are Parasite and then Falling, featuring Chris Calico, and then our latest one, which is Downfall, which is a cover of Trust Company's 2002 hit. So we just introduced a bass player too. That was just recent. And Ant and Joey are in Louisiana. I'm in Kansas, and actually the bassist is going to be on the other side of Missouri and Illinois. So we're kind of like spread out. We're still in the Midwest, but we're spread out. And next year I think we're shooting to do some live stuff next year.
That's going to make it tough to rehearse. Do you guys like rehearse live online, or how would you do that?
Yeah, it's going to be via online. Joey lives about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from me. I'm from way down south Louisiana, and Joey, he's in mid-Louisiana, that's where I'm from, is mid-Louisiana, and son-in-law, we call it. But, just rehearsing online. Like he said, we just brought Tim on bass, who's a phenomenal musician. He has a lot to bring to the table, so we're really happy to have him on board with us as well. Just looking forward to it. We're just concentrating now on this album titled Signals. We got some good changes in the works too as well for the band, so we're really excited about our future. So.
Yeah, you said you recently signed with Curtain Call Records. This album that you're doing, how many songs is it going to be?
It's going to be 12 songs. We signed with Curtain Call last year,
okay.
September of last year is when we signed with them. So we've been with it for a while now.
Yeah, Gigi's really great. She's been very active on helping me get in contact with you guys to do this, and I want to give her a big thank you too, because she's I probably wouldn't be able to pull this off without her help. So your single Downfall, you said it's a cover. What made you want to do this cover in particular?
And so it's kind of funny how it all went down. So one day I was just chilling on Twitter, on the band's Twitter, and Josh had mentioned something about, hey, let's do a cover. And we got talking about Trust Company, and I said, yeah, man, The Lonely Position of Neutral was a fantastic album. I definitely remember that. That was 2002. I was 22 at that time. I'm telling my age. So, I mean, that album or that era of music had a huge influence on not only who I am as a person now this day, but also who I am as a musician too as well. So they had, so I had tweeted out to them, just for giggles, said, hey, how would you guys feel if we did a cover of Downfall? Well, they responded to our Twitter, we would be honored. And we were like, what? Really? They actually responded? So, and it started from there. We recorded it and everything. We bought the licenses for it. We recorded it. We got it mixed and mastered in the studio. We sent it to Kevin and the rest of the guys in the band. They absolutely loved it. And, us and Kevin with Tristan can, best friends now. It's pretty awesome how that relationship started. And I don't know, it's just fun, This song just means a lot to us.
And that's going to be included on the album, you said?
That is correct.
Oh, okay, awesome. Now, when you plan on touring, Are you going to do like the whole country, or are you going to try to stay regional? Like, what's the plan there? Do you have a plan yet for that?
Well, obviously financially, so obviously finances have a big part because Joey and I, we and Tim, we have families, we have kids and everything else. We have to think about that. So financially, it has to make sense for us. So we're thinking more or less like regionally, around Illinois, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, just around that region for now, just to kind of get our feet wet, get stuff going. Definitely got our eyes on some big festivals for next year. We definitely be part of. So yeah.
What's the story behind the name Sevvven?
So Sevvven started off. So there's several stories with Sevvven. We were so it started. There was 3 founding members. There's Joey, Josh, and myself. So each V represents the individuals of the band who started Sevvven itself too as well. So that's the reason why the spelling is as it is of Sevvven. Well, when Sevvven first formed too as well, there was, the 7 signs and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's just not to bring religion into it, nothing wrong with religion. It's just, it was just something that has a significant influence, especially on myself as a person growing up in a Christian home. And there was, that was one thing that's preached about, and then you have also the 7 signs of the 7 sins, too, as well in life. So it's kind of based around that, just a little mixture of this and that. Honestly.
And when you guys first got together and met, did you start off as wanting to put this band together, or was it, hey, let's, we were involved with this other thing, but it didn't work out? How did the band Sevvven come about?
Well, Joey and myself were previously in another band called Wake Theory out of Alexandria, Louisiana. He was the drummer, I was the guitar player. And he and I, I've known Joey for years. I met Josh. I had took a break from music, actually, when I moved from Alexandria down here to South Louisiana. I met Josh on this social media platform called BandLab. The dude, it was kind of funny because I remember the very first message Josh sent me. He responded to my track and said, "Hey man, I'm gonna record vocals." It's okay, cool. I was like, "Who is this? Man, I don't even know you, dude." And I'll never forget this. He sent me this track, and I think the first track was "All I Need Is You." I think that was the track that you recorded vocals. I can't remember. It's been so long ago, I've slept. But it was so funny. I was like, who the hell is this? I was like, okay, cool, dude. I've never seen somebody who was so looking forward to record some music, to record vocals. I was like, cool, whatever. So he sent me the track back. I was like, dude, this is actually pretty damn good. Like, okay, cool. So, we started PMing each other, add each other on Facebook, so on and so forth. And, and our first song we all recorded, all 3 together. It was "All I Need Is You," that was our very, very first single out, which we actually have a new version that actually I'm going to get from the studio today that we're excited about too as well.
Ooh, going in the studio today. So you're tracking today, or are you vocals? What are you doing today?
No, I'm getting it from.
Getting it from. Ooh.
Yeah. That's
exciting. I always love when you get a new track in your hand and then you're like, oh, it's finished. So, with all the stuff you guys are working towards, where do you guys see yourself in like 2 or 3 years?
Well,
that's a tough one, isn't it?
We hope to be playing some really. No, actually, you never. Well, honestly, you never know because coronavirus really hit everybody for a sucker punch last year. Shut a lot of stuff down. A lot of musicians, stuff like that. They suffered. So it's really hard to say. With the state of the way that everything is still to this day. Hopefully, in 2 or 3 years, man. Hopefully, we see some on the big stage. Playing for big acts, opening up for big acts, and even headlining our own show or two. That's where we hope to see ourselves. On the road, doing this as a career.
And you're hooked up with a great.
That
Yeah, you're hooked up with a great record company. I'm sure they're going to team you up at times with some pretty good acts that it's just going to make one hell of a show.
Definitely look forward to it.
What got Curtain Calling interested in you? Was it that first track, or did you what was the impetus there?
Let me back up a little bit with that. So Joey and I, in that previous band we were in, we reached out to John and Gigi previously to join the label. But I don't think at that point in time the band that we were in was not ready. I don't think we were mature enough as a band. Then we had reached out to them. We sent them All I Need Is You. They sent a bunch of tracks. We had I think 8 or 9 previous releases that we released ourselves on Distro Kid. They checked it out and they just loved it.
And
that's how we are.
And now you were doing all these at home. Now you're going into a bigger studio and you're working with a bigger studio now. How's that?
With the recording process. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I was going to say, how does that differ there?
So we don't go into the studio. It's kind of funny. The way it works is, all three of us, Joey, myself, Josh, and now Tim, all of us have our quote-unquote home studio. And what we do is I record all the guitars. I write the drum tracks. So, I program the MIDI drums in. Drums, guitars, bass, synth, piano, whatever I want to put in there, and I send it to the guys. Then Josh will take it. He'll record vocals. He and I will go back and forth. Hey, we don't like this melody here. I don't think this is going to work here. Let's try a different melody. Once we get the foundation of the melody down, Josh would then record a full take with his home studio. He'll send it to me. I'll do a pre-mix. I'll send it to Joey. Joey would then record his drums, send it to me. I'll do a final mix before we send it off to the studio, just to kind of give an idea of what the track will sound like and the direction we want to go. Then we'll send it to the studio, and then they will put their input in it, and they'll maybe change something up or tell messages, hey, we need to do this differently, or this needs to be done differently. So it's all still done remotely.
Sure.
For now, so.
Pretty cool. Why don't you guys tell us about Parasite?
Josh, in terms of the vocals or the
just the song in general. Where did that? How is that inspired?
Oh man. Ant always creates fantastic instrumental tracks. So I heard that one, I was super excited to go on. It was a really heavy track. I think it was in A or something. But for me personally, as a vocalist, when I write music, a lot of times I write not really about myself, or maybe I do, and it's subliminal. More or less, I just write most of the time about sad stuff. Most of the time, just because that's the stuff that's relatable to a lot of people, and a lot of people need that stuff in that time to relate to and get past some things. So I write a lot of stuff mostly for people and not myself. But when I go back and listen to stuff, I'm always like, oh yeah, that's definitely my life, or that's definitely what I was going through at that time.
Right.
The more I see that, the more I'm like, well, maybe I just look more inward and bring some of myself out. But I don't know. At the same time, I like just writing things that are super relatable to people that are going through hard times. And Parasite is really just based around just a toxic relationship, and the other person just being parasitic for you and being unhealthy.
Yep, and a lot of us know that feeling, don't we? Well, guys, I really appreciate you coming on. Tell everybody how they can find you on social media so they can link up with your awesome band.
Man, you can find us anywhere if you just Google. Just Google Sevvven with 3 V's, and all of our stuff will pop up. In Facebook, the website, the streaming platforms we're on. Pretty sure Twitter and stuff will come up, and even if you search on anything Sevvven-wise on any social platform, we'll pop up. We'll be the first thing to come up. Yeah.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on the Banger Music Awards fundraiser. We really appreciate your support, and keep sending in those great tunes, all right?
Hey, man, thanks a lot for
Thank you
having
so much for having us, John. We really appreciate that.